guys, Stealth here. It's a Monday, so it's a war room day. And this war room is going to be pretty much centered around what's going on this year. I just got back from being away for a couple days. I wasn't really doing that much wargame since I only had my, god, by now I think a 7-year-old laptop with me. Yeah, it must be 7 years. It's a really old piece of hardware, or at least compared to the modern stuff. So I really didn't have access to most of the modern games. It may sound spoiled to you, but it's a laptop which still has one of the earliest i5 processors. But still, I don't think it can really run Wargame, being a Dell XPS 1647 if you really want to get all the specs. Anyway, I was away for a couple days, so I was playing some, let's say, lesser or different kind of games that I usually don't get around to or I'm not that interested in. One of those was Plague Inc. I've been playing around with that every now and then. If you're not familiar with it, it's a weird game. It's a game where you have to create a virus, and the virus goal, or your goal with the virus, is to just practically kill off the entire world population. So if you have some sort of evil genius's streak in your personality, you may want to check out that game. It's it's pretty fun. Of course, it's a little weird to think, how can I infect the biggest population of the world fastest? But yeah, it's interesting. It's also giving you a bit of a glimpse into how quickly something like a new, let's say, Black Death strain of the virus could take over the world and kill a massive amount of population. Of course, there are all sorts of organizations who can stop it, but my situation, or my gameplay, I usually manage to kill off about 7 billion people with some of the more difficult areas to reach always survived, and I'm talking islands. Islands such as Greenland, Iceland, New Zealand, Japan. The moment they spotted the threat, they just went, nope, closing the borders, locking down the airfields, and closing up our ports to make sure that nothing is going to come in. And that usually leads to a defeat for me, as if I'm not killing the entire population, I don't actually get a victory. Another game that I had quite a bit of fun with was Prison Architect again. Prison Architect, I decided to try something new. Ever since one of the recent updates, there's the possibility to create a dormitory, which is basically, instead of having a small cell for one prisoner, you create a larger, let's say, living space with bunk beds or separate beds, whichever you prefer, for a larger group of prisoners. So I decided to make a sort of barrack for my prisoners. I had 50 prisoners in one living quarters. Worked out rather well, until, that is, I think my pipes burst from my water treatment plant, causing my electricity plant to catch on fire, causing half my prison to burn down. So I repaired that, and I thought, well, okay, let's get back into it. Unfortunately, at this stage, the prisoners were getting quite annoyed because they hadn't had a shower in about 4 days and hadn't had a fresh meal in 3. So they decided to do something else. And a few days later, I think I had a massive prison escape where 46 out of my 50 prisoners decided to dig their way through the tunnel system, or through the pipe system which ran underneath their toilets, and they just decided to escape the prison. So yeah, that didn't really end that well, but it was fun to see how that little experiment turned out. Didn't really do too much on New Year's Eve. I know a lot of people party a lot. I'm personally not one of those. I just usually sit around with the television on, watch a bit of comedy. There's usually here in the Netherlands 1 or 2 comedians who have a sort of New Year's review, which they do with a lot of humor in a very funny way. This year, unfortunately, it wasn't that good, so I ended up not really watching too much of that. Did watch the fireworks. I hope that the fireworks in your city were great. I was in a sort of, it's called Landel Green Parks, where you have a bunch of cottages that you can rent. So, with all those cottages being in a very, very forested area, I really couldn't see a lot of fireworks, except for those which made it up high enough over the tree line for me to see, or I could watch the fireworks on TV, so we did a bit of both. And just got back yesterday. Good to be back at my solid computer, so I can actually show you Wargame again, do Armored Warfare again, stuff like that. If it wasn't for the bloody cat. It's not that the cat has done anything to the computer, it's that the cat has done something to me and my girlfriend. Because you see these cats that we have, I have 2 cats. They were alone for 5 days, and my mother-in-law looked after them, gave them food, played around with them a little bit, make sure they got their, let's say, their day's worth of attention. Yeah, well, the cats didn't really agree with that. You see, one of them is a really peculiar animal. He's called Flex, and Flex has the tendency to run away when you try to pet him, like any proper cat does. They just don't want to be petted, they run away. And then the moment you go to bed, and they are not allowed into the bedroom, we close the door and he starts to scratch the door. Like, dude, I want to get in, don't leave me alone again. So he did that as we went to bed, and 2 hours later, and 2 hours later, and 2 hours later still. So yeah, that was an interesting night, and now he's just sitting here next to me on my desk, curiously eyeing what I'm doing, as he's probably considering jumping on the kitchen sill to get some more food of his own, which is something that they also do when we're not there. But, you know, that's what you get if you have cats. Anyway, it's good to be home again, getting back into the whole YouTube thing. The most of the videos that I had, or actually all of the videos that you've been seeing for the last couple of days, were pre-uploaded. So that's why I didn't really get around to immediately replying to the comments. I have been getting back to most of you, I think yesterday and today. If not, please let me know and I'll get to answering your comment. Anyway, the plans for January for my channel. I'll be doing Wargame European Escalation again. It's, if you're unfamiliar with the game, it's one of the earliest title, or actually the earliest title of the Wargame series. And it works a bit differently from what we're used to in Wargame Red Dragon. So that should be interesting gameplay footage for you to watch and for me to play, because I really didn't play that much. I think I played 1, maybe 2 of the campaigns, and I really didn't get to unlock that many units. And again, if you're not familiar with it, European Escalation doesn't have a huge armory like the one that we have in Wargame Red Dragon. Instead, you have to play matches, and with those matches you can then unlock command stars. The command stars will buy you new units. And that's how you can expand the, let's say, the deck that you have. I don't really think that they actually have a deck system in there yet. I'm not too sure. That's how unfamiliar I am with the game. Anyway, more on that coming up possibly in the next few days. I will of course also be doing some more Armored Warfare. Armored Warfare reviews of vehicles are something I really enjoy doing, and they have been really well received by you guys. The thing is though, that it's hard for me to keep up the pace, because let's say the lower tiers, you can grind those pretty damn easily. It doesn't really take that much time. You can just go from tier 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and even to 5 in a couple days. After tier 5, say around tier 6, it becomes a grind. And I'm now grinding tier 8, where instead of, I think, 40,000 reputation points or XP, you have to grind a whole of 1,000,000 XP in order to get another tier 9. So it's going to be a while before I actually get to unlock more vehicles that I can review. I still have a few left, but for the rest I need more credits, I need more reputation. So I'm afraid that I'll be sticking to, let's say, 1 Armored Warfare review per week, and maybe 1 random gameplay video of that. Also going to be doing some more Command Modern Air and Naval Operations. I have been messing around with it back when I was away for the last few days, because it's a pretty low-end game, at least for my graphics card, so my poor old laptop was pretty able to run that. And I gotta say, even scenarios where you don't have to fire a single shot can be really, really interesting. Because one mission that I was doing was commanding one US submarine and being tasked with extracting a CIA covert asset from China. The guy had been made and he wanted to get a ride out of China. So he was there in a small dinghy off the coast of China, and I, with my submarine, had to go get him. Didn't have to fire a single shot. We were not at war with China at the moment. I don't think the US and China have ever been at war, now that I think of it. Anyway, we weren't at war, so I was not allowed to fire except in self-defense. And my main objective was also to make sure I wasn't going to get spotted in the first place. That wasn't too easy, I gotta say. It took a lot of maneuvering and zigging, zagging out of cover, making sure that I got the right amount of distancing between my submarine and the active sonars on the warships that were patrolling the South China Sea. But eventually I made it out with only, I believe, 10 minutes left on the clock for the mission, so stuff like that can be really, really nail-biting without even having to fire a single shot. So more on that will be up probably this week. Another thing up this week is going to be a stream. I'm going to be streaming Wargame Airland Battle again. I'm going to see if Swiss is available Wednesday to make sure that we can finish off, or at least get another good chunk out of that campaign that I was doing a few weeks ago. I think that was halfway through December, or possibly starting December. We never got around to finishing it, and I intend to correct that. So I'll be doing a Wargame stream on Wednesday. It'll be up in a separate video with a specific link to your time zone, so you can quickly see when and where the stream will be. The stream will be recorded. The stream will also be uploaded to YouTube. I'm going to put that also in the video that I'm going to put up for the stream, as well as in the description of this video and the other video that I'm yet to record. If there's still someone out there who's going to ask me, will this stream be on YouTube? Please help me track them down and slap them in the face for not reading or watching the video properly. Because I try to make these things excessively clear, and people still ask me, dude, is this going to be on YouTube? And I just go, do you even have a brain? Okay, enough with the ranting. Anyway, I have also been getting a lot of requests from people who have just gotten into Wargame to play with me, and I'm going to be doing a separate video on that, on my plans on that, on how you can get into a game with me. Other than that, I have a, let's say, a grand goal for 2015, or sorry, yep, there we go, 2015, nope, it's 2016, get around to it. A grand goal for 2016. At the end of 2016, I want to have 25,000 subscribers or more on my channel. I started this channel back in August 2014 with a grand total of 0 subscribers. And currently, January 4th, 2015, 2016, I'm going to be doing this wrong for the next few weeks, just you wait. Today, January 4th, 2016, I'm sitting at somewhere, I believe, around 4,700 subscribers, but the channel has been growing faster lately because I'm covering Armored Warfare. I will be covering XCOM come February, and with that I expect my channel to start growing faster. If you have any way of helping me get to that goal, increasing the influx of new subscribers, please let me know if you have any great tactics or strategies for that, so I can make sure that the channel actually gets to where I want it to be at the end of the year. Other than that, I had some stuff to look forward to, or actually I have a lot of stuff to look forward to in the cinema. There are quite a few interesting movies coming out soon, at least in the Netherlands. Maybe wherever you are they're already out, but I think that these days cinema is pretty much synchronized with all of the movies coming out pretty much at the same time. Anyway, XCOM 2, of course, not really cinema stuff, but there's quite a few movies with numbers in it. One of them is 13 Hours, which I think you will really enjoy as well. I'm not sure exactly what country it was about, but it's an embassy that's going to get attacked, and there are I believe 6 or 7 CIA safe house operators. So these are the guys that actually make sure that the safe house is in fact a safe house. You can consider these guys ex-Navy SEALs, ex-CIA, very, very highly trained guys. Or sorry, not ex-CIA of course, but ex-Special Forces. Very, very highly trained guys, and between the 6 or 7 of them, they're going to have to try and save everyone at the US Embassy. I'll be linking to that in the description below, so if you want to check that out, link is in the description. Another movie that looks really, really interesting is The Finest Hours. It's a Coast Guard story. I believe it plays in 1956, but I might be wrong about that. It's a movie about the US Coast Guard, and apparently 1956 saw one of the heaviest storms along the east coast of the US, where one of the ships that was out there just plainly broke in half, with half of the crew being trapped on one end and the half of the crew being trapped on the other end. And this movie is about the struggle of those guys and the struggle of the US Coast Guard really to get them out alive. So I think that could be a really, really interesting movie, and I'm definitely going to be looking out for it and going to see it. But it's going to be, I think, towards the end of January, somewhere along the lines of 28th or later. Something else, Deadpool, of course. Deadpool is scheduled, at least in my country, for February 11th. If you're not familiar with Deadpool, I suppose you could say it's a hero as well as an anti-hero. It's a Marvel story. Don't shoot me if I got the wrong producer there, but I think it's Marvel. And Deadpool is, let's just say, he's not your typical superhero. It's a really, really sarcastic, ironic character. And surely you have seen the trailer by now. If not, link in the description. It's not really your typical do-good, let's say, Batman-esque type of hero. He's not Spider-Man, he's not any of those guys. He's a lot less serious, constantly making a fool out of everyone around him, including himself. And that kind of self-deprecating humor is something that I really enjoy. So I think that's going to be a really, really fun movie to watch forward to, or to look forward to. And other than that, there's something coming out that's called The Fifth Wave. I believe it's a sort of alien invasion / survival movie. And that's something that could, of course, be really interesting again. I usually consider those things interesting because of all the strategy involved. I'm thinking, okay, how would I survive in this situation? Or what would I do if I were to be in a situation like that? At least that's the movies for January, I think. There may be more. If you have any great movies that I should be watching, or that we all should be watching, please let me know in the comments, so I can have a look at the trailer, possibly add it into the description here. Because there are probably more movies that I just haven't seen yet on the watch list here. From previous week, I think there was one question. Or not previous week, 2 weeks ago when I did the last War Room, which was, what do you think is the most useless unit in Wargame? This is not actually a question as easy as I had expected to answer, because if you consider it, there are some units which really shouldn't be in the game, but in sufficient numbers, those can be pretty annoying. And I'm thinking of, I believe it's either the US or South Korea, which has a sort of quad truck. It's mounted with quad 50 cals. It barely has any accuracy. It's not particularly mobile as far as I'm concerned. I don't see it shooting down any helicopters anytime soon. I would consider those one of the most useless units in the game. However, at the same time, I suppose that if you park those, let's say we have a look at this map. If I were to park a couple of those along this tree line, and the infantry would come out of those trees there, they would be very, very quickly suppressed. So that is something that those quad trucks might actually be useful for. At the same time, stuff like the Su-85, the Su-76 even, They're in Wargame, but in sufficient numbers, they can be either a meat shield, they can suppress infantry, they can lock down flanks. So the most useless unit, I'm gonna say it's the quad truck. But other units, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna say quad truck. But let me know what your most terrible unit is in the comments down below. I really look forward to seeing what kind of unit you think is completely obsolete and that really shouldn't be in the game. Anyway, that's it for this week's War Room. I hope you have a very, very good new year. I hope you have some goals set up for this year. As again, I mentioned, mine is to get 25,000 subscribers to this channel. More are always welcome, and if you have any good ideas on how to get more subscribers in that period of time, please let me know in the comments. Other than that, I hope you're having a good week. I'll be making sure I have enough video material on the channel to fill every day, or at least a video every day, so you don't have to go a day without Armored Warfare, Command, or Wargame Red Dragon. For now, thanks for watching, hope you're having a good week, and I'll be seeing you very soon.